Hey YouTubers, Writer Brain here, and today we're going to talk about the Holy Bible for iPad, and it's also available on the iPhone. It looks a little bit differently, but most of the options are still the same. And okay, so we're going to take a look at that now, and this is Holy Bible by YouVersion. Alright, so what you first come to is usually whatever chapter or verse you were last on. And so we're going to just start with these options, and just to show you, there's a little dot wherever I touch on the screen here in this recording so that you can see where I'm going. So I'm going to go to the top left corner, and the KJV up there, you can choose what version of the Bible you want to read. There's a lot of different options available, and if you look to the left of some of these, for instance the very first one, King James Version, you'll see a speaker, and that speaker means that there's an audio version of that available, and I will show you that in just a little bit. We're going to be looking at the King James Version in this one because the King James Version is totally copyright free, and it will tell you in that little up at the corner where it says KJV. To the right of that is a little notebook icon, and that is for notes. And let's go back to the beginning of that. There we go. The options are to look at the notes you already have, and you could have made public or private ones. They're listed here. I only have one, so we'll just go ahead and take a look at that one real quick. I touch that, and up comes the information. The title of it was Salvation, and I made it on January 19th, and it was referencing John 3:16, and my notes would be below it there where it says Notes, and I can go ahead and touch that John 3:16, and it will take me there. And you can see it's kind of highlighted in a wonky color, because I made a bookmark there. I'm sorry, I made a note there. And you can touch where it says you're reading a verse passage, tap here to read the full chapter, so you can get it in context if you want to read before or after it. Words in Christ in red. So, if I wanted to add a note, what I would do is say go to Job 38 happens to be one of my favorite chapters. And I'm just going down. Okay, so we'll just kind of touch 41 here. And I'm going to use this little, in the upper right hand corner you see where it says 1 with a little arrow. And then the very first option at the bottom left, which is Notes. And I'm going to say Create New Note. And for the title I'm going to say, I'm just going to be simple here on this one and say Job. J-O-B. And for my notes, I will put one of my favorites. Okay. And then next, and I can choose what color I wanted that highlighted, also what color the note will be, and I'll just choose this green here, green right there. I don't know why I'm doing this left-handed. And then status, private, draft, public, or publish on, and then you can publish it on YouVersion. I'm going to call that a draft, and I'm going to save it. And there you can see it is highlighted in green, and if I go up here to my notes, there it is. One of my favorite verses, it's a draft, Job. I touch it, and there's the information. Alright, and then of course there's an edit where you can edit this stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is go one to the right, which is the bookmark feature. So let's go ahead and touch that one. And there's my bookmarks. Bookmarks I have saved, and you just press on one and go there. To add a bookmark, you simply do as you did earlier for the note. You touch a verse there, it highlights it. You use that little 1 in the upper right hand corner, and you choose bookmark. And I'll choose pink. So there I have a bookmark. And if I go back up to my bookmarks, there it is. I can then edit that and delete it. So now we will go on to the next option to the right, which is a little calendar, and these are plans. We'll go to Browse Plans, and here you have a list of options. These are devotional type plans. As a matter of fact, we'll take a look at devotionals. And there's all kinds of different things here. It tells you how many day each plan is, and let's say Experiencing God Renewal. Let's say we choose that. It's going to give us a little blurb here about what it's about, and then who did it. The lifechurch.tv is providing this plan. Down at the bottom there's an option for a sample, and we'll just take a look at that. And you can read the sample. It's going to give you a little write-up, and then it's going to give you a Bible verse. And we'll go back to plan preview, and you can sign up for this. You would click this start plan up there, and start a plan. I already have a plan, started a long time ago. Right there, 1 minute devotions. When you click on that, it's going to take you to the day of whatever the plan you're on. And then there's options there to, if you click the settings button, you can get reminders, catch me up, stop this plan. I'm sorry. Share on Facebook, on Twitter, via email. A bunch of options there. You can look by day. Let's say I want to go back to, or month, the 2nd. I won't let you do that, I'm sorry. The next option to the right of that is live, and we're not going to look into this, but there are some live events. You can search for live events by city or whatever. You can create a live event. This is through YouVersion, and so that's just pretty much self-explanatory. They have live, you can follow along, have Bible verses, things like that. Okay, the next one to the right is your history. And this just shows you where you've been. So, it takes you back to where you've been in your history. That's really odd that that is giving me that. So let's just go to there. Okay, so there is how the history works. We're going to go a little further to the right, up here where you see it says 1 Peter 1, right there. And you click on that, and you can choose book, chapter, and verse. Traditional, or if you don't know the order of the books, you can choose alphabetical. But let's say we go to 2 John. You can click this first one, and it will just show you the whole chapter. Alright, further to the right over here, you have your option for Facebook, Twitter. You can share this stuff via email and things. Your font size. You have low light, which if you do that, it's like looking at it at night. It reverses the background to a dark gray and the text to a light gray. Red letters, which mean the letters in Christ are in red, which we just saw. Show notes when available, and I'll show you an example of that. Where were we when I saw that? Alright, you see this little S down here, and I will point that out, this little S right there. If you click on that, it will give you a note. The Hebrew means this, and that's what those little S's are. Down, and you have help, about, language, and sync with iCloud. And then there's a search for reference or keywords. I can search for salvation, and it will come up with all these about salvation, or the word salvation, or I can search for a like a Bible verse. And it will take me there. Alright, we're going to move further down, and you can see the arrows on the left and the right over here, and that just takes you to the next chapter and the previous chapter. So if you're reading, you want to keep reading, just click that. You scroll up. You can also scroll to the left and right. Okay, and we're going to go further down, and down here you see the little audio icon down here. And if we press that, the options really are just to the loudness. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that on and play a bit here and let you listen to it.
John 4. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Judea and departed again into Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria.
Alright, and that's a sample. That is actually Alexander Scorby doing the King James Version, which is, he's a very, very good reader. And so now we're going to take a look at a few other options. We'll go ahead and close that back down. The options that we showed when we highlighted something, and then you press that 1 in the upper right hand corner. We already looked at notes and bookmark. There's also copy, which is pretty much your old-fashioned copy and paste. You can copy that and paste it into an email, into Notepad, into a word processing program, whatever you're using. There is share, which you can share it on Twitter, Facebook, email, or SMS. Then there's the different colors you can highlight. You can either choose one of those colors down there, or you can touch that first one and you can choose anything in the color array. What do you call it? The color palette. Color array. The color palette. And there you can see that it changed it to that color. And then you have cancel and deselect, and I can deselect that. There we go. Alright, and that is about all there is. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. If you like the video, please rate it. And if you like my videos, please subscribe.